Hey guys, what is up? Ford here, coming at you with a little Call of Duty Black Ops 2 commentary today, discussing post-E3 impressions, who I thought won, and a good number of other things. I guess the first thing to start off would be the press conferences and my overall thoughts of them and how they sunk in over the last week. I definitely think that it was clear that Sony won. Sony basically slaughtered the competition with how Microsoft handled a lot of things, be it used game DRM, game sharing, you name it. The PlayStation and Sony crew just dominated. Microsoft definitely showed off some amazing games, be it especially Titanfall. I think Titanfall has some amazing potential, and I'll definitely go into that in a later video. However, between Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo Direct, I think that Sony was a clear victor, with Nintendo Direct coming in a distant second, simply due to the fact that Nintendo was able to show off some pretty cool games, especially Super Smash Bros. We don't have a name for it yet, so it's either going to be Super Smash Bros. For Wii U or for 3DS is what they're currently going with. And honestly, it seems like there's going to be a lot of direction going towards Nintendo versus Sony again. A lot of my friends have said they want to pick up a Wii U because, oh wow, Nintendo's coming back and they're going to be able to really show what they can do, which they haven't been doing in the last couple of years, which is unfortunate because the Wii U right now is a fairly large disappointment. A couple of my friends, really love Monster Hunter, and there's a game for that on it, but otherwise there isn't really many killer apps for it, which is unfortunate because I was a Nintendo kid. I played GameCube and then a PS2 and then a Wii, and then I switched to Xbox 360 with Halo 3. That said, EA and Ubisoft, both very large publishing companies. Aside from Activision, they're the biggest out there, really. EA, it's EA. I do applaud them for not continuing their online passes. However, they're still not. They're focusing so much on these sports games. It's like, what are you going for? I know you have a deal with Microsoft and you're really trying to appeal to the dude bros here, but it doesn't appeal to me necessarily. However, Battlefield 4 and Star Wars Battlefront, those games look to be fantastic. The Battlefield 4, we saw actual gameplay, and taking down a skyscraper in multiplayer, I'm kind of skeptical on how that will actually work, but I can't wait to get this game. I'll definitely be playing it on PC. I'll probably get it for PS4 just as a game extra game to have for my PS4 when it comes out. But those Battlefront, oh my god. The amount of hours I spent on Star Wars Battlefront 2 on PS2 were insane. Those were the days for sure. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying here. And if you're a Star Wars fan, or a third-person shooter fan, or a first-person shooter fan, you should definitely keep your eyes on the Star Wars Battlefront. It was a very quick little teaser that they put out, but EA just acquired the Star Wars rights from Disney for the overall development of games. So that's going to be interesting. Also, I'm not surprised that there wasn't anything shown, but with the recent announcement that Dead Space is not totally canned, but there isn't a Dead Space 4 being planned to be released within the near future, I think that this really shows that the Visceral Game company, which also acquired the rights to Star Wars games in the EA deal, shows that they might be working on possibly Star Wars 2013, I think that, or 2113 or something, whatever that was called. That one Star Wars game that really got shown at the last E3 and kind of fell off. It was either 2012 or 2011. I believe it was the 2012 E3 though. Looking at Ubisoft was pretty cool. Didn't actually catch that much of it because really I don't play that many Ubisoft games aside from Assassin's Creed, which, to be fair, Assassin's Creed 4 looked awesome. Aside from it freezing in the Sony press conference, it was running on an actual PS4. It shows that, it could crash. It is not the final build of the game, and there are things that can change, which I am looking forward to seeing. I'm definitely going to be picking up Assassin's Creed 4 day one on my PlayStation 4 when I get it. Looking at Nintendo Direct, though, I think that Nintendo Direct was actually something interesting, and I think Nintendo did a smart move in not holding a major press conference compared to Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, or Sony. What this allowed them to do was have a little bit more laid back, just say, here are some games, we're bringing out this kind of stuff, here, just have some games where we want to get the Wii U to sell. They're not here to announce anything large or major, but what they're going to be able to do with this is basically to say, all right, we have some games, and we're going to push them out. We wanted a Wii U to be a valuable system to the average consumer, which isn't something that the average consumer has compared to when the Wii first came out. You had to wait 4 hours or more to get a Wii, just a standard Wii, but in the Wii U, you can go in and pick up all of 5 of them that are in stock, or 20, who knows. Don't know why I would do that, but you could if you wanted to. So I think that Nintendo did a good job with the Nintendo Direct. I didn't actually get to catch much of the actual live stream, but did you guys see Mega Man in Super Smash Brothers? Are you kidding me? Come on! And the freaking villager from Animal Crossing. Let's go! Come on! I think that these are pretty cool new additions to the Super Smash Brothers universe, and I was a huge Super Smash Brothers Melee fan alongside Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Compared to it wasn't as competitive as Melee, but it was awesome. Also, Nintendo, if you're listening to this, you better put 2 Fire Emblem characters in like you have for the previous 2 games, because yeah, they're kind of needed. But moving on, I'm definitely going to go into who won, will this victory last? You know, it was clear that Sony won. We all know Sony won that day, where the crowd was chanting Sony, and the overall just dominance that the internet, if you look at multiple, you know, comedy news sites, be it, you know, something like Reddit or Funny Junk or any of those that really please your fancy, you can see that there's just so many images of just Microsoft getting slaughtered by Sony. And it seems to be a general consensus that the internet has that the PlayStation 4 is the new way for consumer. Furthermore, it seems that the general consensus being that the PlayStation 4 is dominant really seems to be reflected in the overall news sites, be it The Escapist, IGN, Kotaku. It really seems like a lot of these news sites are really siding with the PlayStation 4. Being as the Xbox One is very anti-consumer, and there are some ramifications for, there is some justification for the overall aspect that the Xbox is like here to move it into the next digital age, but I don't necessarily see that happening. The overall gaming community, while there is Steam and it does have its own DRM, you can still give a game to someone whenever you want. You don't have to wait 30 days after friending them to give them a game. It's just, here's the game, have it for free, go ahead, play it. There isn't any of this disc-based DRM, where with the PlayStation 4, you can just plug in a game and have fun. Also, the online checkups, like, I have good internet. My internet can withstand. My internet, generally, if it does crash, it's crashed for 30 seconds and I'm back up. I'm good to go. However, I don't like the fact that with the Xbox One, I would have to check in every 24 hours. And if I don't, then my Xbox becomes a paperweight. That's bad. That's bad marketing, Microsoft. It really is. And it hurts to see that, because for the last 4.5 years, I've played on an Xbox 360. It has been the dominant online multiplayer, just the dominant console in general, not just multiplayer. I don't know what I'm saying there. It really is something more than just a multiplayer platform. What it really is this console that gives a dominant single-player experience alongside a dominant multiplayer experience, and it does have better social features. Right now, the PlayStation 3 doesn't have cross-game voice chat, which is something that it has been lacking in the department of. The social interaction on Xbox has a much higher quality of life than the PlayStation 3. That said, the PlayStation 4 is really making advances where the PlayStation 3 didn't. It has cross-game voice chat. It's allowing for more, the kind of a real ID kind of system. If you've ever played a Blizzard game, be it StarCraft, Diablo, or World of Warcraft, there is the real ID system, and also the battle tag system. With that said, Sony's really making up for what it lost in this current generation, and as we move into the next generation, it's going to be an interesting war. Is Microsoft going to be able to come back in the next 3 years, in the next 4, in the next 5? Sony said for the next decade and beyond, the PlayStation 4 will be able to give you entertainment. With that said, what do you guys think is going to be the duration of this console generation? Is it going to be 5 years? Is it going to be 7 years? Is it going to be a decade? Is it going to be 15 years? I can't see it lasting more than a decade. With all that said, the gameplay is winding down here, so I'm going to end the commentary right about here. If you enjoyed the commentary, please leave a like and a favorite if you can. A subscription would also greatly help my channel get on its feet. I'm really starting to I want to give you guys content. I want this to be a place for discussion where we all can come together and enjoy video games. And with that said, thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Leave it a thumbs up. If you'd really enjoyed it, it'd be awesome. and more content on its way. So I will talk to you guys later. Peace.